Todd Monken just dropped a bombshell on Shedeur Sanders versus Deshaun Watson. Todd Monken just dropped a bombshell that completely changed the conversation around the Cleveland Browns quarterback competition. What was supposed to be a routine minicamp update suddenly turned into one of the biggest stories of the offseason. Because instead of naming a clear favorite, and if that's true, then one uncomfortable question immediately follows. How is a young quarterback like Shedeur Sanders pushing a veteran like Deshaun Watson this deep into the battle? The answer might be creating more pressure inside Cleveland than anyone wants to admit.
Coach Todd Monken speaking on day one of mandatory minicamp after Shedeur went 25 of 30. Excellent day, excellent showing, deep balls, great accuracy. Coach Todd, what you got to say, man?
Maybe, I don't know, you ask another one, someone else screw that up.
Denzel Ward is in on some 7-on-7, but Delpit didn't do anything. Is that an injury or a hold-in situation?
Again, I won't comment on injuries.
So it is an injury?
I'm just saying I won't comment on injuries. I think that's a...
Todd, can you address talk about the nice day that Shedeur had out there? He made a lot of really nice plays, long bounds.
It get dangerous.
Did a nice job. Did a nice job today. He's been getting better and better with each practice day, and I thought Deshaun did some good things today. So I thought they both functioned at a high level. We had a couple pre-snap issues, but I thought they both functioned at a high level today.
Will we see a different rotation of quarterbacks tomorrow?
Yes. It'll flip back tomorrow.
So overall, how would you?
And then on Thursday we'll split them. That's really what we've been trying to do.
So overall, how would you assess the first day of your relatively full squad minicamp?
Well, it was great. I mean, but it was really, we've had most of the guys here for 9 weeks, so we've been on the field for 3 weeks previous. It was very similar to that. I thought the guys had great juice today.
Todd, there were a couple of drills where the quarterbacks had the ball post 6 seconds. Is that you're intentionally wanting them to work on scramble
100%.
Or holding the ball, moving?
100%. I mean, we won't call pass play more than scramble. It's going to come up 5 or 6 times a game. I don't care what other concept, 4 verts, flood concepts, quick game. With all these 2-play quarterbacks, so it's going to be imperative that we're elite at scramble, and defensively we're elite at plastering. And so that whole drill was just set up for us to work it. You can work it separate, and you can get your coaches out there working on it, but it's not the same until you get a chance to compete with your guys.
Todd, what about the chance to get Jared Verse out there in team drills this week and what you saw from him today?
No, it was great. It was great to have him out there. It's hard when we're not in pads. Guys try to take care of each other, which they did a great job of, but he's a pro.
When the Browns entered off-season workouts, most people thought they already knew how this story would end. Deshaun Watson was the established veteran. He had years of NFL experience. He had seen defenses, pressure situations, playoff races, and every adjustment that comes with playing quarterback at the highest level. The assumption around football circles was simple. Watson would eventually separate himself. Maybe not immediately, maybe not during the first few practices, but eventually experience would win. That was the expectation. Then minicamp started, and suddenly the conversation began changing. Reports from practice kept mentioning Sanders. Coaches kept talking about development. Observers started noticing cleaner footwork, quicker decisions, and improved command of the offense. As the Browns continued their June minicamp schedule, Sanders kept putting together solid sessions. Meanwhile, Watson was also performing well. That was what made the situation complicated. This wasn't a case of one quarterback struggling while another dominated. Both were playing quality football, and that created a problem for anyone expecting an easy decision. Everyone wanted to know who QB1 would be. But football doesn't always provide easy answers, especially in June. For Shedeur Sanders, June minicamp started creating exactly that kind of momentum. One of the biggest talking points came after a practice where Sanders reportedly completed 25 of 30 passes. Again, coaches weren't declaring victories. Nobody was handing out starting jobs. But performances like that start conversations. That alone was notable. Then he added something even more important. He's been getting better and better with each practice day.
Did a nice job today. He's been getting better and better with each practice day. And I thought Deshaun did some good things today. So I thought they both functioned at a high level. We had a couple pre-snap issues.
Those words matter, because coaches rarely praise improvement unless they're seeing something consistently. Improvement means progress. Improvement means growth. Improvement means a player is responding to coaching. And improvement means the gap isn't widening. It might actually be shrinking. Now coaches have to evaluate what is actually happening, instead of what they expected to happen. That's where things became fascinating. Because while Sanders was receiving praise, Monken wasn't criticizing Watson. In fact, he complimented him too. "I thought Deshaun did some good things today." Then came another important line. "I thought they both functioned at a high level." Both. Not one, both. That single word may have revealed more than anything else, because it suggested neither quarterback had created meaningful separation. And if nobody was separating themselves, the competition wasn't ending. It was intensifying. The deeper this competition went, the harder it became to predict. What started as a developmental storyline was slowly becoming a legitimate battle. And then Todd Monken delivered the statement that turned everything upside down. Competition feels different when expectations are attached to your name. Nobody expects perfection from a young quarterback. People expect growth. Veterans live under a different standard. They're expected to lead. They're expected to separate themselves. They're expected to make decisions easier. That's why this situation has become so fascinating. Watson entered the offseason carrying the advantage of experience. Years in the NFL, knowledge of preparation, knowledge of pressure. Those advantages matter. But advantages only matter if they create results. And according to Monken's comments, the gap remains difficult to identify. That's where the pressure begins. Because every day Sanders continues improving, the spotlight becomes brighter. Every positive report raises expectations. Every compliment creates new questions. And every unanswered question increases scrutiny. Watson isn't battling criticism because he's struggling. He's battling scrutiny because the competition remains unresolved. Those are two very different things. Fans naturally compare everything. Every throw, every practice report, every quote, every observation. The longer the battle continues, the more intense those comparisons become. The Browns probably hoped this discussion would be simpler by June. Instead, it's becoming more complicated, and fans have definitely noticed. The moment Monken refused to name a starter, social media exploded. One side immediately viewed it as validation for Sanders. Another side argued it simply meant Watson hadn't received enough opportunities yet. Both groups believed they were right. And that's exactly why the debate became so intense. Supporters of Sanders pointed directly toward Monken's comments about growth. They highlighted the reports from practice. They focused on the praise regarding development. The quarterback position naturally creates strong opinions. Add uncertainty to the equation, and emotions multiply. Now every Browns fan seems to have a prediction. June creates stories. August creates answers. That's the reality facing Cleveland right now. Todd Monken repeatedly emphasized one important point. The pads haven't come on yet. That detail matters more than many people realize. Because football changes when contact increases. Windows close faster. Pressure arrives quicker. Decisions become harder. Competition becomes real. Monken openly admitted he wanted more information before making a final decision. Will Watson remind everyone why experience matters? Or will Sanders continue the steady rise that has already forced coaches to keep this competition alive? Todd Monken may not have named a starter, but he absolutely delivered a bombshell. He confirmed this battle is real, and now the entire NFL world will be watching what happens next. What began as a routine offseason quarterback competition has transformed into one of the most intriguing storylines in football. Todd Monken's latest comments revealed that neither quarterback has taken complete control, and that means the biggest chapters of this story are still ahead. The competition isn't over. It's only getting started. Was Todd Monken sending a message to Deshaun Watson, or was he quietly acknowledging just how much Shedeur Sanders has grown? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay tuned for more Browns news, NFL drama, and the biggest stories from around the league.